what are your initial thoughts when you first learned about your school's closing?
So obviously you're very sad and a little shocked, but not overly, just because the enrollment numbers at Fitzmaurice were so low that when the conversation started, I was like, yeah, this is going to happen. But of course, it was very tough because you're used to a school community.
Let's talk a little bit about the transition from Fitzmaurice to Stott. Tell us about that transition, and specifically through the lens of the center-based program transition.
So I commend Jeffco schools for making sure that our whole program moved with each other to the new school. So we retained most of the pairs, and then they were able to hire a secondary ASD teacher. So through that part of the transition, it went well. The principal there at Stott made sure that we had a tour of the school so that we could see where our kids, would be, where their classrooms would be.
When you look back on that experience, what are some things that you might recommend that we do differently to not only better prepare our families, but position our students with disabilities who might be transitioning to a new center program and a new school for greater success than we did with your family?
Maybe some more introductions during the school year, maybe on quieter days, especially with kids with ASD. Sometimes, coming into a new school community that is quite larger, my son's had a harder time. So I'm thinking if maybe we had some more days where the kids can go in and just see what the school is like when it's full of other children. Our ASD primary teacher did put together some social stories for our children so that we could start introducing them to the fact that they're not going to be at this building next year. They'll be at a different building, but there'll be some familiar faces. They'll have some of their teachers, they'll have some of their paras, but maybe some of the kids and some of the other teachers and maybe a principal will be different. So I think that would be really helpful in making sure that we do that. And maybe also just to check up with the family, just to see, is there anything that we can do? Is there something that we can help you with in this transition?
What advice might you share with our families who have children in our center-based programs who might be faced with a similar experience that your family had?
I think just patience is the obvious, answer. We did drive by several times his new school. We would get out, we would walk around the grounds of the school. I'd even point to where maybe he'd be coming in, this is the front door, but your room is back here, because we knew, since the principal brought us around, we knew, the approximate location of his classroom. So I think just lots of introductions and just trying to have a really good attitude about it. Every morning I give him a pep talk. It's going to be a great day. We're going to have so much fun. So I think just, trying to have a positive attitude will really be helpful.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for taking the time to meet with me today. Your story is so important, and it's going to be extremely helpful, and I appreciate you being a voice for our families who are faced with a potential transition to a new school this coming school year. So thank you so much.
Thank you.